How's it going, guys? It's Burgers here and welcome to another Rise of Kingdom video. Today I want to talk about your first KvK fight. And this is basically your first KvK fight. I don't say in your kingdom where you have some small fights and stuff like this. When you're fighting other kingdom where there is a dozen of people on the battlefield. I'm going to share with you my experience that I have with my first fighting, and that was on the Ascension Ruins. This thing is going to start after 40 minutes, and I want, to have the best preparation for this fight. So you don't make my mistakes. I'm going to also share with you my reports and what I believe can be done better in this thing. Now, first thing first is the majority of the cases, the fights or the players in this KvKs are people who is, how to say it, old Rise of Kingdom players. But Burgas, what this supposed to mean, old Rise of Kingdom players? That means those people know how to fight. They know how to position themselves. They know how to poke, do the poking game, because it didn't actually matter. Are you with archers or infantry? You're going to fight in the melee range. Here we're not having this combat mechanics where the archers that normally shoot with the bows have some distance over the melee legions. So I'm going to share with you everything, basically what you need to know as a preparation. First, I'm going to share some of the mistakes from me. And my first mistake is not knowing which legions I'm going to use in the fight. Now, so far, if you watch my videos, I share with you which legions I decide to go. One of the legions is actually Sun Tzu with Yasuji. The other legion was Minamoto with Cao Cao. I was having some ideas about UCG with Minamoto. There is like 3 variation of legions. You have to know what is going to be your main troop before your first fight in the KvK, because going Minamoto with Cao Cao, I'm going with the cavalry. Going with for example Sun Tzu with Yasuji, here's some mixture between the infantry and archers. But if I go with Sun Tzu and Charles Martel, which is actually a very nice combination, to be fair, I have to focus over the infantry. And if I want to go with Yasuji and maybe invest in heroes like Tutmos, this bad boy is also very good hero. So Yasuji with Tutmos is actually going to be a good fit for Archer Legion. So by having this information, you already know that you have to pick one of your troops to be a main troop. Why is that? It's just don't have mixed legions. And even though that I share in my videos that, for example, here we have just 10% HP for the infantry. If I use archers in this legion, I'm not going to benefit from this 10% health. So pick one troop and build a legion around this troop. Don't go with Yasuji, with Sun Tzu. Maybe I feel this is something like a mistake, even though that I actually make some good reports with them. But I believe it's actually a mistake to go like this. Focus over one troop, and like this, you're just going to, focus all of your resources at one place, and you're going to make something extremely stable. Why is also that why the troop is with crucial importance? It's also about the gear. We're going to talk about the gear because this is basically my biggest mistake. So since we talk about the main troop, and my biggest mistake is the gear. Now, I didn't actually focus that much over the gear. Huge mistake. Huge mistake, guys. Don't do my mistake. Look at this. Helm of Fear, Cavalry, Infantry. Okay, it's getting like 2% infantry. The other one is like 4% infantry. This one is like 1% infantry. I don't know. Yeah, I have boots that is boosting the archer, so it's not even infantry. Now compare it to somebody who is actually having... Let me see what I can actually forge. Let's say he's a cavalryman. He's having cavalry attack 12%. He's having cavalry health 12%. So you have attacking health 12% just because of these two pieces. From there, maybe he go with some helm that are, I don't know, it can be epic one, it can be blue. It didn't actually matter. I think this one is actually a cavalry one. Yeah, cavalry defense X to 6%. So if you stack up all these bonuses, this means that the person that I'm fighting, I may have like 1 or maybe 2% boost of my defense, and he have like 30% boost of his defense. This is making crazy difference on the battlefield because this is just a single stat. It can be same for the attack, it can be same for the health. So attack, health, and defense. So the gear end up to be with crucial importance. Very, very important. So even when I actually start, trying to avoid some fights where I do bad, even with that, this may be the best report I actually have. And again, my gear sucks. I'm facing against like 2 times more people in the lance, because here is the thing, the situation that I was fighting, it was not in my direction. We was have like 2 times less people on the battlefield. So obviously from there it's very hard to make positive trades when your legions and your alliance legions is disappearing way more faster. So it was not something in my direction, but definitely, even when I tried to fight smarter, this is basically the best report I get. And one of the things I want to point out, don't forget about the gear. Now, pick one troop, focus over this troop, devolve this troop, bring some gear, bring some heroes over this troop. Maybe I'm going to make a separate video where I'm going to go in deep for season 1 or for the KvK 1, what is going to be the best March Legion, what is going to be the best Infantry Legion, and what is going to be the best Cavalry Legion, like this, just to help you building your Legion. But for me, I was like split decision because it was important for me to see how the legions are performing. And even now that I actually go with Minamoto, I have some reports with Minamoto. Well, things are even more bad with Minamoto, I'm not gonna lie. Is it that I think I have like couple fights with Minamoto, but here I only have like 1. And yeah, 44k severely wounded. And here is the thing. You want to have a positive trait. Why is that? It's just because it costs so much to do a healing. So much to do a healing. Now, I was thinking, okay, I was looking at my resources and I'm like, okay, I'm like around 100 each of food, wood, stone, gold. And I have speed ups, obviously, for healing and general speed ups. I mean, I'm prepared to some extent, but if your legion are just dying that fast, it's just filling your hospital and you may not be able to participate in the fights that much. You basically can fight like half hour or maybe 1 hour and you're gone. I mean, you're not having any more resources, or if you spend all your resources, there's not going to be enough resources to, I don't know, maybe level up one of the buildings. If you want to, level up the other building or training or research or whatever, you're basically losing all of your resources and you have to go and farm those resources. And one time my legion go in the hospital, this is millions and millions in form of resources, and from there I have to go and do the normal farming from where I have to get my resources because I don't have farms. Now some people may jump with couple farms. I just don't have time for farms, and I believe if you want to be free to play and fight for longer, you're definitely going to need to have some farms. So one of my mistakes was not having one main troop and trying to figure out what troop I want to play, which lead up to filling my hospital and spending so much resources. On top of that, also speed ups. The other mistake was the gear. Definitely, I need to start forging some gear. Maybe I'm going to make a separate video, especially for the infantry one, but there is also some accessories that it didn't actually matter, are you infantry or are you cavalry or whatever troop, whenever there were troop, oh, sorry about that, that are actually general for everybody. So whenever there were troops launch any type of basic attack, the target lose 10 rage. And I can give you that this thing actually proc a lot. This is going to be, I don't know, maybe this fight here. And if I pick some fight here, you're going to see, since the majority of the cases, my enemies are actually, okay, this is just from the talents. Maybe some big fight if I can actually find where I'm actually, okay, maybe this one. So look how much damage I'm actually getting. This is actually no artifact here, which is very strange. The majority of the cases I'm actually getting hit by some artifacts. Okay, this is talents. We don't care about the talents. G again. This is more like AoE. Here I'm actually doing some AoE and doing some damage. But yeah, here maybe I was focused. No. My point is those accessories are proccing so much, and it's actually, you know, is stealing some rage. Now 10% 10 rage, it may not look that much, but it can break your cycle, your spell cycle, because 10 rage is like 1%. So if this thing proc like 2 times, 3 times, this is actually like 2-3%, like up to 5%. And yeah, there is a lot of procs. I can share with you some other fights where this thing procs a lot, especially when you're a target. And this can shift or slow down your spell execution and the enemy to execute his spell before you. And this is bad because when you fire up after him, you already have less troops from him, so your spell is just doing less damage. So he's breaking your spell cycle, extremely important. And you go, if you shoot a second, this is a problem because you're just going to have less troops because he already executes his spell and reduce the troop amount you're having. Now if you fire up before him, it's even better. So this one is one of the things that for all of the troops I can strongly suggest. This one is the other one. The were troops take 5% less counterattack damage of all types. This is also very solid. It's also reducing the damage. The other thing that I want to mention, obviously I'm going to make a separate video maybe for the different troops about the gear in the KvK 1. But the other thing that I didn't actually was prepared was the fighting itself. Now here, as you can see, I have quick command where I can actually select which targets I want to fight. Now, if you take out the barbarians, you may not actually be able to even attack barbarians. And as you can see, I cannot even attack barbarians, which, you know, in the huge fights, it is going to help you. Is going to help you, but after this you have to point it out. And right now, as you can see, I can attack barbarian. All these small things here, maybe I'm going to make a separate video where I'm going to go in deep with that. So yeah, if you're interested in this type of content, consider subscribing. I'm making Rise of Kingdom videos now. So yeah, from those controls and how the enemies are presented is with crucial importance. Also your troops, because if you go and zoom out, you're going to see, for example, right now there's going to be some fight here. If you zoom out, as you can see, this one is presented like this, but if I put my filter mode, it's going to be still presented like this. Actually, let me take out the filter mode, and this is my boys. See, it's huge difference, because if it's like this, at least for me, obviously you have to adapt it to your style of playing. For me personally, this way is way better, because I can see this is our people. I can actually go and strike the people from other alliances, but it's from my kingdom. So I still have to see those people. And I prefer just the enemies, just the enemy troops to be the one that I really want to see in big body. And by seeing them with big body, I'm just going to know that this is going to be the target. So this one is actually pretty big to be seen, compare it to this one. And like this, there's not going to be overstep of the legions. You're going to exactly see what is the position of the enemy legions. Extremely important. So this is the other thing, and this is the way of playing that you're going to approach. Because to be fair, for me personally, the first couple of fights was nightmare. I was seeing everybody, you know, like this in like one cube or whatever is this thing. Even from my team was actually blue one, the enemy was like white one, and when they fight they become they become a red one. It was so complicated to navigate in my first fight. So the thing that I suggest you is find your way of playing. That means in the filter modes and all these things. Now how you can actually achieve that, you can go in the combat controls, cursor, movement speed, is it not here? Build, search, city. Okay, now hotkeys. It's actually not here. It's combat settings. Sorry about that. It's filter mode and quick command. You should have it on, and from there you can basically, you know, navigate how your fight is going to look. You have attackable targets, aligned rallies, barbarians, aligned troops. Now, if you go and do some fights, you definitely don't want to hit barbarians. So if you do on PvP, not just by incident to misclick on barbarian, because when you start the fight with this barbarian, he's going to continue fighting with you. Also buildings, I take out all of the buildings because this can be a huge problem, you know, striking the enemy buildings. I don't know if you can actually see everything. Resource points, you can decide, okay, I'm going to just take out myself. Resource points, sync hold and drag, hold to attack, march. I mean, all these things, you just do it. This is okay. This is the quick command. Filter mode. It's more like I have an issue with the markers on the battlefield, and when there is some markers, sometimes you just cannot see the enemy because the enemy is under this marker, and I believe this is actually a huge problem. So the markers like names, troops, map icon. Now if I go and, you know, here I think we have a map icon. Yeah, next war will be online. This is a marker. When I go and I click on the filter mode, I don't see that. From time to time, you can just click it to see what is going on and what is the next plans for the battlefield. But in majority of the cases, you know, you just is that on names, troops, names, aligned, island. Is that this one? This one? Portraits, I don't remember. Yeah, map icons to be hidden. You just click it and you can see it, you know, and even know that you're on the filter mode. This is also very important when you're jumping in the fight, because everything that can influence your performance in the bad way, it actually going to be a problem for you. And if this thing like influence like by 5% your performance because you don't see the enemy that is under the map and blah blah blah, you end up in the bad position and your legion get destroyed. You have to take care for your legion, because you're really going to get destroyed. You're going to fill the hospital and like 30 millions is going just like that for healing. And this is not that easy to be get it. I mean, this is not something that you get very fast. The other thing is try to be around the edge. What this is supposed to mean is don't be not around the edge, but be little behind. Don't be in the front lines like a Rambo, and don't chase. You're going to see in the fights that the enemy is just jumping, going to attack, then they get back and they attack. Now when they go back, because they're basically targeted by your legion, you can chase them and you end up surrounded by tons of enemies. And this is where you're going to see reports like for example this one. This is basically I get catched by enemy legions. Now with the time you're going to get better with this poking game or this way of playing in Rise of Kingdom. But at the beginning you have to be extremely careful. One of the ways I can suggest you is go check out somebody stream. It's not just checking out my work or my streams. Here I'm not like I'm the best of the best or something like this. Go check out how the other people are playing, how they're moving their legion. When they're moving their legion, how they're fighting. Are they moving somewhere here and strike for like 5 seconds and getting back? Where they're positioning their legion so they don't get catched by the enemy legions. There is a old players playing this game that can definitely help you at least to reduce the amount of time you end up in the in not very good positioning, let's say it like this, not very good positioning. So this is something that I was actually doing and I was planning to do just to see how the fights is actually navigated at the end of the day. This is with crucial importance. So we talk about the heroes focusing over one troop, which is influence over the heroes. Because yeah, the heroes, look at this thing. I have Minamoto, I have Chow Chow. If I didn't actually even think going for Minamoto or Chow Chow, most likely those money that I spent here is going to be focused over the hero like Charles Martel and going like Sun Tzu with Charles Martel, which is a very solid legion, by the way. Just to mention that and stuff like this. It's just you're spreading your resources, but I just want to do it for myself to see which troop most likely is going to be the one that I'm going to use in the future. Obviously, a lot of people are talking about the Yasuji and how good is this bad boy. There is no second opinion. This hero is actually a solid one. It's a good one, boosting the skill damage, good amount of damage, and etc. But yeah. Now we already talk about the heroes. We talk about the equipment. We talk about the way of playing. Something else that I'm actually missing. Do I miss something? The other thing is, yeah, when you figure out which troop is going to be your main troop, the next step is train like 300k of this troop and basically use this troop. It's completely pointless for you. For example, you want to go with cavalry, you have like Minamoto and you have like Chow Chow, and like putting in the hospital your cavalry and start running like with infantry or archers. Those heroes are actually boosting very nicely the cavalry march. Most likely your gear is going to be focused over the cavalry march, like for example Minamoto. So as you can see, cavalry defense, cavalry health, 2 pieces is going to give you some extra stuffs. Same for this one, same for this one. My point is you're getting some crazy good bonuses for your cavalry, and if you put in the hospital of your cavalry and you start, running with infantry or archers, you're just not going to perform that good. You're just not going to perform that good, even on half, maybe in the best case scenario, on half. And do you want to fill your hospital, spend the same amount of resources healing infantry or archers when you're basically playing with cavalry? Better spend all of your resources healing cavalry and not actually touching the other troops, or maybe you can touch them, put them in the hospital, but don't heal them. Just heal them when there is no fight going on and stuff like this. This is basically my advice over the people is when you pick your main troop, when you build your legion, when you build your equipment, just train more cavalry. Just train more troops from the troop you decide to be your main troop. The other thing is that I can strongly suggest that I make a little, or actually go for it little late, is those milestones or whatever stones are this one. Now right now I don't see any kind of stones which is, you know, not actually good. But yeah, the stones is something like 10% more HP, which, you know, is something like a little boost. So if you can, go get it. And the other thing, yeah, maybe finally, is just build like one legion. When you start playing your first KvK, build one legion. It's just going to be enough in situation like this, because you're not going to have troops, you're not going to have equipment, you're not going to have that much heroes. All these things, you're just not going to have them. And it's completely pointless to make like 2-3 marches and end up get destroyed these 2-3 marches, and after this you cannot hold the build that is coming from your hospital in form of resources and speed ups. So yeah, guys, this is my observation from my first fight. It was again around the ruins, where I fight against the enemy. The enemy is very solid, strong, so I cannot say they are easy to be get it, but there was some things that I would change, and I definitely was wishing to have and do before this KvK, before this fight actually happened, just to have it in my mind. Now, if you enjoyed those tips, maybe you're going to enjoy also some of my beginner tips. I'm going to put one video here where it's basically 5 beginner tips in Rise of Kingdom that is going to help for your account.